Hey everybody, this is Nick. Just jumping in here real quick before we get today's episode started. Want to give you some updates on some changes to the podcast. We're going to be moving from a bi-weekly show to a monthly show. Sorry if that bums anyone out. It's just that since the world has opened, our jobs, responsibilities, etc. have gotten a little crazy as well, and we just want to make sure that we're not burning out here. We want to keep the show easy breezy, fun for everybody, including you, and we thank all of you for who have been listening to us. We know we got some regular listeners, and we do appreciate you tuning in every 2 weeks, and we hope that you will continue to tune in every month. So basically, look out for new episodes first Friday of the month, starting with this episode. So the next one will be out early December. I'm not going to tell you what that is because that is John's job at the end of the episode, as you well know. And with all of that said, I'm going to stop talking and let me, from when we recorded the episode, start talking. So enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Millennial Rewind, where we take a not-so-sentimental look at the movies and TV shows that were around when millennials were growing up. I'm your host, Nick, coming to you from the teenagers with attitude capital of the world, Los Angeles, California. And joining me here in the City of Angels is my co-host, Jules. Jules, how you doing today?
I've been freeing intergalactic sorcerers and running away.
And you didn't invite us to help. And joining us from the collection of freakish monsters baked in a monster elf wizard's oven of Southern California, the Inland Empire, is my other co-host, John. John, what's happening?
I'm circumventing rush hour traffic with my flying penny farthing.
In case you're wondering, listener, John is speaking, but the ADR is completely out of sync. You guys don't see it.
It's
but
my special
that's-
superpower. Yeah. My mouth and my voice don't sync.
Oh, God. Well, before we talk about what the fuck any of that means, if you like what you hear today, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to share the show with anyone you think might like to listen as well. So, we watched the 1993 kids show Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Excuse me, Mighty
Yes.
Morphin Power
Yes.
Rangers. They do morph mightily.
Apparently, the title Mighty Morphin was banned in Indonesia because it was like street slang for a kind of drug.
Oh my God.
This isn't just your regular morphine. It's mighty
No.
morphine.
Well, with Mighty Morphin in mind, John, how would you tell someone you watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers without using the title?
I had an amazing acid trip that involved a live action Voltron.
I've heard those are the best acid trips.
They are mighty.
And Jules, if the producers had asked you to come up with a different title for this kids show, what would it be?
Teen Tight Pants Go!
Oh shit! I think we can let Julian go home on
Yeah,
that.
Julian, Julian, that's a wrap on Julian. He's won the
You
episode
just won Straight out
early
the
on.
gate.
He
Jesus.
won the episode.
Got that W.
God damn.
Holy shit!
This show, holy fuck. If there was ever a show that like defined my childhood in so many ways, it's Power Rangers. I don't know if it was a big thing over in England, but
Oh, it was huge. It was huge, especially for me. Like, I mean, Power Rangers was my everything when I was a kid. It was, at least until I discovered Dragon Ball Z. For the most part, it was the martial arts, the sorcery, the giant robots fighting monsters. Honestly, you put those things in anything, and I was going to be your audience. I also remember at no point recreating or even pretending to recreate the martial arts, despite the warning that they always put before the episode. These are trained martial artists, don't try to do it at home. Now, was that really a thing or just government alarmist bullshit?
I think that was government alarmist bullshit because I have zero recollection of that being.
They put it before every single episode and at the end. It was like they
Huh.
were so scared of 8-year-old kids. I mean, the saying is monkey see, monkey do. Are we really all monkeys, or do obnoxious government bureaucrats just assume that?
It's not just government bureaucrats. When I get to my story, I will explain.
I mean, I know that when I played Super Mario Brothers, it led me to jumping up and smacking my head against bricks, eating mushrooms, and attempting to fly with nothing but a strap-on furry tail. But, you know, are those really connected?
Could be a coincidence.
Mario punches the bricks, damn it. He also donkey punches Yoshi to get him to eat stuff. You can see that too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Super Mario World. He totally punches Yoshi in the back of the head.
But you know what? I was just so happy I got to rewatch it. I thought this was going to be a stark reminder of how dumb I was as a kid, how terrible the story was, and that it was unsettling, creepy, and about as well aged as a slimy pork chop left in the sun for 83 days.
And you turned out to be absolutely right.
I was so surprised to discover that it was so much worse. This is the show that we made this podcast for. It is absolutely the epitome of what Millennial Rewind is for. We have a
Oh my
purpose.
god.
Fucking greed. Oh, God.
Yeah, we gotta do more kid shows. Between like this and Postman Pat and G.I. Joe. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, John, I don't think you were necessarily in the target audience when this came out, but you must have been very, very aware of it.
Oh yeah, I watched the first couple seasons. By the time they filtered out like a few of the Rangers, that was kind of trailing off then. And that was pretty early on. But yeah, I watched the hell out of it. We go home from school, watch Power Rangers, and then the next day, like at recess at school, would kind of reenact episodes. And so,
Seriously?
it was like me and three or four other kids. So someone would be the monster, of course. And we didn't really care. There wasn't a like this person's Jason and I'm always so and so and whatever. If it was a Kimberly episode, someone got to be Kimberly. No one gave a shit. It was awesome.
So you did reenact it.
Yeah, we were out on the playground running around and pretend imagination fighting putties that weren't there. And it was halfway through that school year that we moved from Tennessee to Indiana. And so Power Rangers was how I made new friends up there. It was absolutely something that I was into. And I was super fucking jealous of everyone who had the toys and I didn't.
Well, you would have been jealous of me because I absolutely had the toys. I was really into it. I had well, not all of them, but I had a decent number of the action figures. I remember there was this one type of action figure. I didn't have it personally, but friends of mine had it, where you like pushed a button and the head would rotate in and out of the chest. It had two
Yeah, I
heads.
remember those. It had like the regular head and then with their helmet on. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they estimated that this, even early on, was worth in the region of $1 billion, this franchise.
Jesus.
I mean, I definitely contributed.
Yeah, me too. Which is why I was so shocked, and when I found out that the actors were so horrendously underpaid.
Oh yeah, they were apparently like non-union. The guy who played Billy was apparently, bullied for being gay.
Oh, I was going to get onto that, but Austin St. John, the lead, after he left the show, became homeless.
He did,
What?
and
They say they were averaging something like $60,000 per year for a $1 billion franchise show.
I remember he became a fireman. So you could literally get rescued by the Red Ranger.
That does sound pretty cool.
he also apparently allegedly is been charged with defrauding the government during COVID. He got like a PPP loan allegedly under fraudulent conditions or something along those lines. I read somewhere. But getting back to the toys I had real quick. The best Power Rangers toy that I had a complete Megazord, as in each individual dinosaur that morphed into Megazord itself.
That was childhood gold dust.
It was hands
Yeah,
down
a
one of my
status
favorite toys.
symbol. That is how you declare yourself a king in the playground. is
I
with a
was
Megazord.
definitely not allowed to take that outside the house. I think we bought it at a toy store that was I was living in New York at the time, a couple blocks down. But speaking of government warnings and monkey see, monkey do, I was eventually not allowed to watch Power Rangers because I was apparently being too rambunctious and doing the karate stuff, and my mom was just like, "Nope, you're not allowed to watch it anymore." So like I would have to watch it secretly at friends' houses, and I was very scared of defying my mother. So they'd put it on. I'm like, guys, I'm not allowed to watch. It's like, dude, your mom's not here. Just shut up and watch the fucking Power Rangers.
So there was some evidence of recreating the show. God damn it, you guys! You tried to pretend like there wasn't.
I didn't say
You
anything.
personally experienced it.
I didn't pretend otherwise. We flat out did it at school. We just didn't do it at home. So technically, we did follow the warning.
Yep, didn't try it at home.
Nope.
I just remember I always wanted to be a Power Ranger for Halloween, and they had the Halloween costume, because the catalogs pre-internet where you
Right.
would,
Yeah.
order your costume from, but they were never, because I was such a weirdly perfectionist kid, they were never good enough because you got the jumpsuit, but the helmet wasn't a full helmet, it was just a front
It was
plastic
just the
face mask.
shitty plastic Halloween mask. Yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't even like a full head, and I was just like, "No, that's stupid, I'm gonna get a different costume." But I did some research recently, and if you have, like, around $1,000, there's a company in Indonesia that will make you a custom Power Ranger outfit with a full, proper helmet.
But Mighty Morphin can't appear anywhere on that suit, I imagine, right?
Definitely not. I can't imagine this is a licensed product, but all I'm gonna say, guys, is it is my birthday in a few months. Just take that, do with that what you will.
I'm gonna get you a perfect replica and the shitty helmet.
I was gonna say that we had discussed with Toy Story doing our trio for next Ren Fair, but maybe Power Rangers instead.
I
Exactly.
love the idea of us three going to a Ren Fair dressed as Power Rangers. It's the perfect day out.
Last time I went, there was Maui from Moana showed up. Dude walking around, his fucking hook was like 7 feet. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's of us going up to every booth and just being, let's power up.
It's Morphin time. Start chowing down on a turkey like it's gorging time. The origins of this, not even American. This is adapted from a
Not
Japanese.
quite, yeah.
Not quite. It's adapted from a Japanese show called Super Sentai, and basically, a producer called Haim Saban, who got very rich off of this.
Very wealthy guy.
Very
Oh, yeah.
wealthy guy. He got the rights to use footage from the show, the Japanese show, and then shot really inexpensive scenes in America to adapt it to an American audience, and would, alternate between the stuff he bought from Japan and the scenes he underpaid these actors for.
Yeah, they just cobble this stuff together. It was, oh my God, it's so bad.
The stuff he got from the dime costume store, the lens flaring, the atrocious, maddening sound effects.
Oh my god.
Whatever do you mean, sir?
Oh, we will get to that. We will
Oh,
get
we will
to that.
absolutely get to that.
Oh, I know how I'm dressing for Ren Fair now.
I love that idea. But we do have to mention the horrible incident with David Yost, the Blue Ranger.
Yeah, explain.
It was basically, he was interviewed about his time with the show, and he claimed that the crew were so horrendously homophobic and yelling so many slurs at him that he tried conversion therapy.
Jesus.
And was
Oh,
driven
wow.
to thoughts of suicide. And apparently he was told by staff that he couldn't be a superhero because of his homosexuality.
What the fuck?
Yeah, after this happened, one of the producers, this is not Haim Saban, this was a different one, but he went on an interview and got horrendously criticized for what he said on the interview, which was that David Yost was a douchebag and everyone hated working with him. It was like he tried a post-blacklist douchey move. I mean, considering this guy was the only member of the original cast to last as long as he did, makes me think that this guy probably took a lot of shit for a lot of years.
So, yeah, he was on the show a long time.
Yeah, he was the last member of the original cast, which makes it hard to believe that he could have been that much of an asshole, because why would you keep working with an asshole like that? But even if he was an asshole
Because
to work
he's
with,
worth it.
probably because of conversion therapy and, thoughts of suicide. I mean, I imagine I would be an asshole if...
Yeah, I mean, as a defense mechanism for sure.
But regardless, because these are all allegations, it's got a really horrendous history of mistreating the cast. But yeah, so this is the shocking revelation that some Hollywood producers are morally questionable and only care about money. That really threw me for a loop.
Whoa.
I heard rumors, I just didn't want to believe them.
I'm going to need you to cite your sources, sir. These are very bold accusations.
They are paragons of our society, sir.
Paragon.
Paragons, I say. We also have to talk about the tragic death of Tui Tran. I think I'm pronouncing her first name.
That was suicide, wasn't it? I think I heard it was
No,
suicide.
it wasn't. It was a horrendous car accident.
Mm.
So, driving back from either a wedding, she was supposed to be like the maid of honor at a friend's wedding, was in a car with some friends leaving either like the rehearsal dinner or something, and they hit a rough patch of road on the highway on the I-5 and just car flipped. She died on the way to the hospital afterwards. Like everyone else, like people were injured. One of them, I think one of the other passengers became a quadriplegic, but she was the one who died at 27.
Damn.
Yeah. There was outrage about the latest movie that came out, the reboot in like 2017. They advertised the Yellow Ranger, the slogan underneath like doesn't need driver's ed or something like that. And people were like, are you fucking kidding me? Given how Toy Trag
Whoa.
died, the fuck are you doing?
Jeez. Who
I
came up
missed
with
that part of the promotion.
Yeah. Like driver's ed not required. Something like that. Something referring to driver's ed that was in way poor taste given the history of the actress who originally played the character.
Oh,
That's
dear
weird.
God.
That movie was surprisingly fun.
I did not see it.
Did not do what? I didn't see it either. It looked meh. I'm glad it was fun, but it didn't do particularly well, so I think that's why we did not get a sequel.
I think it's because we have now quality superhero stories out there. This was like the OG Doctor Who approach to superheroes.
Yeah, made for $5 on a Wish.
Yeah, the new movie was kind of weird. It was a little bit Breakfast Club. They literally met in Saturday detention.
Don't you forget about this movie.
Yeah. For the most part, it was pretty grounded but fun. And then Rita was just over the top ridiculous and just so much Krispy Kreme. Like the thing that Rita is after to help like get full power or whatever is buried beneath the Krispy Kreme. It is a focal point of the story. Which I would normally hate that kind of product placement shit, but it's Power Rangers, so I'm weirdly cool with it.
Honestly, not the tackiest thing in this franchise, let me tell you.
No, definitely not.
All right, so we have some bad lip syncing to get to, so we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to start breaking down the pilot episode of Power Rangers.
How did you say that without moving your lips?
Alpha, Rita's escaped.
Oh no, Zordon, what do we do?
I need you to recruit 5 teenagers with attitude, and then dress them up in the provided spandex outfits.
Okay, 5. Wait, what? Zordon, that seems really inappropriate.
Not at all, Alpha. It is, for the good of the universe. Finally, we need to watch through this crystal ball. This way, we shall be able to monitor their progress and see them fight and sweat and groan.
Oh boy, haven't we been through this already, Zordon? You kind of have a shady history. You were banned from that high school.
That was totally bogus. I was simply telling the teenagers to work out. That way they would be ready for an incursion of evil sorceresses.
Then why were you smelling their shoes?
I was testing their DNA to see if they would align with the morphing grid to be able to become the Power Rangers.
But they got a restraining order against you, Zordon.
I still think that teenager's mom was overreacting. When I asked her son how he'd feel if he had the power of a dinosaur inside him, it was a totally legit question.
Okay, I'm just gonna come out and ask this. Why teenager, Zordon? Why?
Simple, Alpha. Because attitude.
Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna go find the cops, Zordon.
No, Alpha. Wait. No.
Why do I always work with sex offenders? Ay, ay, ay.
And we're back. We're going to start off with the pilot episode called Day of the Dumpster. And all I'm going to say about the intro to this, we got to talk about the intro to this series real quick. 'cause
Oh my God.
This song fucking slaps.
It does. I love this song so much.
Look, I think everything we remember fondly about Power Rangers, at least before we rewatched it, was the song and just awesome dinosaur bots. I think we just forgot everything else.
I mean, with the exception of the singing, this sort of opening guitar riff in the song would have suited Mad Max Fury Road. You know, the guy on the hot rod with the electric flamethrower guitar. That is the kind of song.
So awesome.
Go, go, Thomas Hardy.
Go, go, Thomas Hardy, you mighty Morphin Thomas Hardy.
Actually, that would be a good description of everything else that goes into the song intro. You know, the story that they try to set up. You know, you could almost hear someone yelling, "Mediocre!"
And also, I love how the lines, the intro like sets up the premise of the show, right? Like Rita Repulsa
Yeah.
comes like, after 10,000 years, time to conquer Earth.
And it's not the same lines in the episode where these things happen.
Not
It's-
even a
Oh
little.
my god. Oh my god, it's great.
I love the idea that said, after 10,000 years, I'm free. First, I'm going to take a shower.
I just whipped up some chili.
And
You
then
see,
maybe.
you get to do both at the same time. I whipped up some chili. You get your shower, have a little bite. It's good.
And yeah, Zordon's hub is clearly he used the same contractors as Jabba the Hutt.
He did. Something about round buildings, just cylindrical things.
You think he's compensating for something?
Yeah, his lack of a body.
Seriously, he's just a floaty head in a tube. Does
But
his
again,
mouth
no.
even move? He just
I
kind of.
don't think so.
Don't know.
But his line is, it has to be one of my favorite sentences in any TV show ever. Readers escaped, recruit a team of teenagers with attitude.
Teenagers with attitude? Where are you going to find those?
Well, definitely not in the show, as we'll see. But
Seriously, how did they not recruit Bulk and Skull?
exactly. But the whole thing, you know, the entire premise is based on the fact that they need teenagers with attitude to save the world, and no one ever will ever come to this conclusion. It is just
No. The least useful humans on planet Earth are teenagers with attitude, and I rank them below newborns. Fucking useless creatures.
Kimberly's got a bit of attitude, at least in this first episode.
A little bit. She's kind of got the, like, you know, the valley girl, like, oh my god, my
Yeah.
hair, this helmet, like,
And like, oh my god, this is like so weird, you guys.
OMG, yeah.
OMG.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that, like, if, like, Kimberly, if she were, like, you know, a teen today, is just using all the emojis in TikTok.
She would speak an emoji. Yeah.
As we'll find out, she is there for her wisdom.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, the intro, other than the song slapping and the lines and it not matching with the lines in the actual episode, you know, you see Zords, which are awesome. You see split screens introducing the cast members, and then we end on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo, which is just crazy early '90s styled. Like, wow. So we're gonna open up this episode on a space shuttle landing on Tatooine. Sorry, I mean Mars. I think.
How is this Mars or the moon or anything?
Reasons,
How?
John. Reasons.
A lot of this is because reasons.
And they couldn't even afford decent space helmets. It's just like placed on there. You can see their necks through the side.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, apparently Japan is going to be the first to Mars. Like that's because these are definitely Japanese dudes in these
They
suits.
did not break a $5 bill when they went to the costume store.
Oh no. They got this at the dumpster behind the costume store. That's where they got these. So they see what they refer to as a space dumpster.
Well, first they say, ooh, shiny, and they run towards something.
Yes. The shiny thing being some like ruby in the center of the manhole cover covering this dumpster circular thing.
It's not a dumpster.
It's not a dumpster.
It's a jewel-crusted stone bowl.
Yeah, what else would you expect a space dumpster to look like?
My point is why they go to the conclusion of dumpster.
Apparently, that's what it is. They recognize it for what it is. So space travel is advanced enough that we easily go to other celestial bodies and are aware of, well, architecture's not the right word, but yeah, it's like
Design.
common. It's common for a space dumpster to exist. So what do you do when you come across a random dumpster?
Just open it up without any investigation. I think that's the best way to.
God damn right, you don't know what people threw away. There could be something awesome in there.
Seriously, stupid Pandora reflex. That
I think that was the name of the space shuttle. The
Stupid Pandora reflex?
yes.
Cool.
And this releases the sorceress Rita Repulsa and her various anthropomorphic creature goons. So Babu, the kind of like blue monkey one, helps Rita out of the dumpster. Explain to me, guys, how do you step into a puddle in the middle of the desert?
Right?
on another planet.
Yeah.
That said, I live in the desert and we have horrible mosquitoes. I don't understand it.
Because you live in the asshole of the country.
Oh, poor John, poor Inland Empire.
Yes, it's very poor.
So Rita's like, hey, you're invited to my coming out party where I'm going to destroy the nearest planet, which is Earth, which looks way too fucking close if this is
See,
Mars.
that's why this can't be Mars.
I mean, my note here is, boy, it feels great to drop pointless exposition clunkily.
My note here is Rita Repulsa is an LGBTQ icon confirmed. She's going to have a coming out party.
Hey.
She's gonna destroy Earth by dyeing all the water pink for her gender reveal.
But this is the beginning of the moment where we discover somehow they couldn't get the ADR right for the crazy puppets that basically have mouth open and mouth closed, as well as Rita.
When that even happens.
Right, but here's the thing. Rita is a Japanese actress. I mean, obviously the lady who dubs her over is American, but
Right.
yeah, she's like Rita, the physical actress is speaking Japanese, and clearly the monsters are opening and flapping their mouths based off of a Japanese cadence, probably, which is why none of this syncs up ever.
Bela Lugosi couldn't speak English. He had to be given the script phonetically, and they still managed to get it to sound right in that ancient Dracula movie. There is no excuse.
I'm not sure what you're getting at. They took other footage and dubbed it. Where are they supposed to sync up properly? I mean,
could have
other
made
than the
some sort of
fact where like she'll just kind of be standing there grinning and you hear like, yes, perfect. I mean, that kind of shit. I see your point, absolutely. Or what the fuck's his name? The light blue one, Squat. His voice happens if he just shakes like enough. I'm not even sure his mouth operates, to be honest.
I blame the dubbing because look, we have anime dubs, right, from Japanese, and they managed to make that shit seem synced up, like
seamless at times.
Yeah, so I'm gonna blame the dubbers and not whoever filmed it, because again, as John said, they bought footage and they repurposed it.
I do kind of want to shout out about the Rita evil voice. She's a fun villain voice.
I love this voice. Yeah.
So now we're at the Angel Grove Youth Center, the Angel Grove being the fictional city or town that the Power Rangers live in, and a radio DJ lets the illiterate among us know where we are. Like, welcome to Angel Grove Community Center. Like, oh, like that, like the sign said, my dude?
Yes.
I think we have a new life goal. We have to found Angel Grove Radio, and we have to start DJing obvious statements of fact.
Angel Grove Radio, home of Fat Cat and the Turnip.
Oh, Hocus Pocus episode reference. So Zach and Jason, who will eventually be the Red and Black Ranger, are
Wait,
dancing.
before we get there, I love how, the first building we see is a youth center, gym, and juice bar. I mean,
what the fuck is this place?
I love
Seriously?
sipping on gym and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Yes. Yes.
That's fat fucking tastic.
I love how there's just a tiny restaurant, like the juice bar is not just where you get some smoothies and shit. It's a full-on restaurant right next to a really open floor with a few exercise machines along the wall.
We will find out that they don't just do juice in the
We
next
will
That's what
find
I'm
this out.
saying.
So we put a pin in
it's
that,
It's a full restaurant run by a single individual.
Yes, we will meet Ernie in a bit. So Zach and Jason, the future Black and Red Rangers, are dancing with each other. Sorry, sparring with each other. They're sparring, definitely not dancing.
Well, Kimberly's on the balance beam, and I'm pretty sure they reversed the shot.
Possibly.
Oh,
When
really?
they show her going back, it just looks so much like they just reversed the shot of her going forward. I may be wrong. Don't call this confirmed. It just looked really so much.
I'm gonna look at this again.
But at some point, like the dance sparring ends with Zach doing a flip, and I think the actual actor did it. That was definitely not a stunt guy.
Yeah, all of these actors were into like martial arts and gymnastics and stuff like that. Absolutely.
Which makes it even more heartbreaking that, they paid them so little when these are actually some remarkable production value. I mean, their acting is definitely not the highest level, but what they could do physically, I thought was quite impressive.
Oh yeah, for sure. Except for Trini, who's doing some very slow Tai Chi. So
Okay,
like the
that
least
ruined it.
impressive. Yeah. So Billy, the nerd, comes in. He's wearing a gi and a headband, and he's super excited about his first karate lesson. He's excited to learn karate.
Blue Ranger was always my favorite as a kid.
The Blue
because
Ranger.
I was a nerd.
I always wanted to be Jason.
Nah, Billy, all the way.
It was
Full
mostly
on
'cause-
nerd. I never cared for overalls though.
Yeah.
Very true.
I just really love the Tyrannosaurus, and I like red.
Oh,
as
for
a-
sure.
But we also get to meet the local bullies, Bulk and Skull. These are the names that they
Oh my
went with.
god.
I remember the music that went with them. Even now, when we just decided to do this episode next, one of the major things I remember was the goofy music they had to introduce Vulcan.
Yeah, their theme song is incredible.
And their costume is fantastic. It's like they went into wardrobe and no one stopped them adding more to their costume. There's sunglasses indoors, leather jacket, blazer, neck scarf, and even when they do the karate lesson later, it's like Skull's wearing a
Fingerless
cap.
gloves, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, because they're punks, I guess. Which is why Bulk also has his tie-dye shirt.
Look, let's not pretend that anyone involved in the production knew what the fuck the youths were actually doing. Let's not pretend. This was made by 75-year-olds.
This is what the kids wear, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Them and their rap singers.
Fun fact about Skull, this actor, he has a doctorate.
Get the motherfuck out of here.
He's got a doctorate in theater and spent a decade as a professor in Chicago.
That's awesome.
My God.
That's probably a lot more lucrative than acting in Power Rangers.
The performance of this guy, Skull, I swear, he is like the guy from Back to the Future 2 who does the chicken sound effect. And
In Biff's gang.
in Biff's gang, yes. And the same with the laugh. His laugh is so Biff's gang.
You are so Biff's gang.
Hashtag Biff Gang.
Hashtag Biff gang.
So they go up to Kimberly and Trini, and they're like, hey, so when are we going on our double date? And they're like, no, dude, we're not going on a double date with you. Gross.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, fuck off. What the hell?
And then Zach comes in. He's like, hey, are these guys bothering you? And they're like, no, we're 90s girls. We got this. Basically tell Bulk and Skull to buzz off. And then they try to physically assault them, but are defeated by the girls' incredible powers of lightly touching their arms and letting the bullies flip on their own onto their backs.
You're using their strength and momentum against them. As if either of these guys have any strength. Come on.
But in their defense, they were distracted by the car swerving off camera.
What car swerving off
What?
camera?
The
Oh,
sound
you're just talking
effects.
about the sound of the weird
sound
sound effects to get.
Oh, the random
to
sound
get
effect.
thrown in,
Yeah.
They have a car swerving sound effect as they spin onto the mat.
I want to know where these crash mats came from.
Yeah, they just materialized.
The balance beam is gone. There are now crash mats in the
The
middle.
swerving car dropped it off.
Oh,
There
you
we go.
There you go. I normally say things like makes as much sense as anything, but that makes more sense than anything that actually happens in these episodes.
I
Oh,
mean,
man.
try to make sense in this fucking franchise is just an exercise in futility. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, like how the fuck is there a evil layer on the moon all of a sudden?
Yeah, how is there an evil like this happened really fast.
So it's not time to conquer Earth. It's time to build my Doom Fortress. And
Time
then
to
take a
build
shower.
my tacky Vegas casino building on the moon. Just
It was miniaturized and she brought it out of the dumpster with them and then like just kind of added water and it swelled up.
yeah, it was a
Inflated.
shrinky dink of of a building.
Yeah.
So she tells Finster, who's like the sheep elf glasses guy, whatever, who makes the monsters, tells him to make some putty patrollers, and Goldar, who's this like what the fuck is he? He's got like wings, he's in a
I
gold
don't
suit,
know.
like a dog ape thing. I have no idea. Red eyes.
He was actually my favorite villain after Rita.
Yeah, he's pretty rad.
Until Lord Zed showed
Until
up.
Lord Zed,
Absolutely.
yes. Lord Zed
Yeah.
was pretty damn badass.
Fuck yeah, he had no skin. He was creepy as hell.
Oh,
It
he was so
amazing.
creepy.
Yeah, he definitely had a look to him. But Goldar, the flying monkey dog thing, agrees to lead these putty patrollers into battle. So back at the youth center, Kimberly and Trini watch Billy take his first karate lesson, but he's not very good at this whole karate thing. Gets disheartened, but Jason's like, "Nah, man, look, even I was a beginner once, but now I kick ass."
And then he
Billy's-
gets super impressed that Billy can memorize 6 words.
yeah, he does. He's like, "What does karate teach?" And it's
I'm
I
pretty sure
forget the
orangutans can learn like 200.
yeah.
But he did it so quickly.
Yeah, most students, they get it on the 4th or 5th lesson, but you got it on the 1st.
Way to go, nerd.
Geek!
So now, in case you were worried that Bulk and Skull were not going to be part of the episode still,
I was so
they show
worried,
up.
Nick. You have
So
no idea
worried.
how worried I was. I was in tears.
Well, they're back, so no
I can't
tears.
wait for the panic attack he's gonna have in the next episode.
So they come in their gis, ready for a karate lesson.
Jesus Christ.
But they've also got their other shit on underneath. They look like it's so weird. The look is really weird. Like Bulk has his fingerless leather gloves still on. It's a look.
Skull as a hat.
and like a denim vest. Like he's a biker. Bulk, I mean, he's got a denim vest on over his gi.
Look, that is a traditional outfit in a very particular samurai clan. So just, he's respecting the culture.
And for some reason, a teenager is teaching the class.
Yes, he's apparently so good at karate as a teenager that he can teach an entire class.
Of like mid 20 to early 30-year-olds.
Yes.
Where in the hell is there an all adult karate class of this size?
No idea.
At a fucking community youth center, no less.
This is something for us to discuss on the Angel Grove radio show.
So Bulk and Skull, they want to learn how to beat people up, and Skull manages to slide in a little racism because he goes like, "Oh, oh." But Jason says that martial arts isn't about hurting people, and you're right, Jason. It's really about making the people you punch in the face feel really good about themselves.
Damn right.
Call it emotional support.
Yes, an
With
emotional
my
support
fist.
punch.
You got to break them down to build them back up.
Exactly. I'm only doing this because I love you.
So much love.
So Bulk doesn't want to do any of this wussy not hurting people shit. So Jason offers to show him some, and I'm putting this in big fucking air quotes, advanced technique.
Advanced techniques. Like a spinning jump kick.
Like just a regular kick. I'm gonna plant my one foot on the ground and kick up with my other foot. Advanced.
Mr. Miyagi would be proud.
I think Mr. Miyagi would be embarrassed.
Well, you saw how focused Billy had to be to do those, slow-mo blocks. That's beginner shit right there. You can't move at speed until you're advanced.
Well, he definitely can't attempt the tornado kick, which is the spinny kick you were mentioning, John. And this does not go well for Bulk, who is he is a larger gentleman. And he just place plants onto the ground because that was hard.
Discredit to big guys everywhere. How dare you?
And Skull applauds him, so don't worry, he won't lose any
Oh, of
self-esteem.
course. Yeah.
No, despite the entire class laughing at him.
Bulk and Skull are absolute bros, man. They are BFFs. They're there for each other.
They are hashtag friendship goals.
Hells yeah.
Class dismissed. So they're at the juice bar, and Billy, doesn't know if he has what it takes to do this karate thing. The others tell him, no, it's not about strength. It's about it's about using your mind.
That's kind of true.
You gotta use your mind when you're memorizing 6 words.
You do. Using other body parts does not work out well.
That's the problem. He didn't have enough mind left over to operate his limbs.
So this is where we meet Ernie, the guy who runs the juice bar / delicatessen / whatever the fuck he feels like.
Ice
cooking on
cream
a
shop?
Ice cream shop, as we'll see in the next episode. I
Diabetes
don't want to
shop.
tell people what they have to look like to run certain places, but we live in LA. There's a lot of juice bars. Gentlemen of his size do not run juice bars. It's always some health nut.
Yeah, this is the youth center juice bar. This isn't the one that's in the little strip mall,
Yeah, it's nowhere near as fancy.
God, the neon signs everywhere. It's amazing. It's so wonderfully early 90s.
So Ernie comes up, he's got a tray of juices in his hand, and he's like, who ordered the spinach juice? And I'm going to go ahead and answer you, Ernie. An insufferable asshole ordered the spinach juice. That is who ordered that.
Trini.
Yes.
Trini, the insufferable asshole.
God, these juice, listen, if you frequent a juice bar and think they're gonna detox you, which is not a thing, and you order the kale spinach, whatever, you are an insufferable asshole. Just go away.
All of the other juices have large amounts of whipped cream on top.
As God intended, yes.
I'm starting to think that you might have had too many spinach smoothies, Nick, because you're quite bitter.
Yeah, it does explain a lot. Ugh, they're disgusting. And that's when an earthquake hits.
You mean the camera shakes?
Yes, that's when the camera shaking hits.
There's a little bit of, side to side a la Star Trek action going on. And Ernie loses balance enough that Bulk gets, smoothie milkshake all over him.
And you know what that means. Peter Parker's not far away.
Oh,
catch it
because of
all?
because his fight with Flash in the hallway, and Flash gets covered in food. Hey guys, so you know what's the best thing to do during an earthquake?
Go for a light jog.
Yes, go for a light jog outside, because nothing is gonna come crashing down and crush you. And
Or actually,
possibly kill
no,
you.
it's more like host a fun run because there's a shitload of people doing this light jogging.
Jesus, just they come streaming out of the youth center. It's ridiculous.
Run towards the earthquake.
You gotta run towards it. It's the last thing the earthquake will expect.
Reverse earthquake
It's
psychology.
just crazy enough to work. When you throw enough bodies at the earthquake, the hole fills up and stabilizes.
Enough teenagers.
No, the teenagers with attitude stayed inside where ductwork is falling?
So at the command center, the Power Rangers command center, Alpha 5, this little disc-headed robot, is reacting to the big one like I will when SoCal gets hit by the big earthquake.
By which you mean that you're shuddering with your teddy bear?
Yes.
Why the fuck does Alpha have a teddy bear?
Wait, he has a teddy bear?
He has a teddy bear in this scene.
Yeah, he yells, danger, 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 it's the big one. I mean, he perfectly executes my sexy talk. It's really fantastic. Teddy bear and everything.
There you go.
Good to know.
John's expression was so good.
So Zordon, who's just this floating giant ethereal head, just somehow knows that it's Rita who's responsible for said earthquake.
Yeah, Zordon somehow knows that this isn't an earthquake, it's Rita. Who's doing what at this point, by the way?
You're a dumb kid, so don't ask questions.
No, when you're a dumb kid, you're just like, yep, Rita, totally, cool.
So Zordon tells Alpha to beam 5 overbearing and emotional humans. You know, the exact kind of people best equipped to save the world, you know.
I mean, as bad as this show is, I swear it comes up with sentences that have never been spoken before.
That line is an absolute gem. And Alpha shits himself in panic. Teenagers? Oh no!
Yeah, my note here is Alpha 5 reacts to dealing with teenagers how I imagine Jules would.
Very much so. He is instantly my protagonist for this TV show.
Alpha 5 is your spirit animal.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, I gotta get that on a t-shirt. Or on a neon sign, actually. That would even be better.
There you go.
But I think Alpha gets his own back because he chooses these characters who have not been overbearing or emotional in any way whatsoever.
I don't think he does. He just pushes a button. There's no scanning, no selection process, nothing at all. He walks over to the console, does a little beep boop, and somehow it plucks these 5.
But the best with this 5 getting plucked, they're still in the shaky community center. They happen to get into a very nice little formation.
Right?
Yes, they do.
I was gonna say.
And
Yes,
then
they do.
they just kind of freeze and start looking
They
around.
pause. Yes.
And they're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? This is too weird. Nothing is happening. There are no special effects going on. They just might have a little tingly feeling on the inside. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's natural if you're a teenager, Nick. It's natural.
Okay.
And one of
Lot of
them, I
growing up.
think it's Billy, is like, I don't think this is an earthquake. Really? The shaking ground and shit falling from the ceiling makes you think it's not?
Yeah, what do you think it is, Billy?
Seriously?
So eventually, the weird feelings manifest into them getting beamed up to the Enterprise.
Whoa. How dare you disparage OG Star Trek special effects like that?
Exactly.
How
You're right,
dare
that wasn't
you,
fair.
sir?
That wasn't fair. That
They
was
color teleport over some weird colored cliffs. It's an absolute acid trip. It
cruel. They
is.
just put a
It's so weird.
semi-transparent purple layer over, shots of landscapes as their 5 little color beam things just kind of fly away from us.
It's Ms. Pac-Man effects over.
Absolute madness is what it is.
Well, anyways, they rematerialize in the command center.
And because Alpha's a dick, he has them rematerialize, like about 1.5 feet off the floor, so they still have to fall.
I mean, this is not so much a command center as it is Darth Vader's disco chamber. I think that's the best way I can describe
The Star Wars themed disco
I'm
song
Han
starts playing.
Solo. I'm Han
Han
Solo.
Solo.
In one episode, Zach does have an emergency meeting where he has to go teach Alpha how to dance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I watched the first few episodes. I didn't just watch these 2.
After watching the first, I'm like, nope, I'm doing the assignment and not a goddamn second more.
I'm buying some alcohol and calling it a night. Let's do this.
So Billy is somehow impressed with this set that was built for, 90 cents and an IOU, going so far as to call it magnificent.
Yeah.
And despite not knowing what the fuck anything is, he just starts pushing buttons, which is always smart.
They're like, where are we? What is this place? And he's like, probably this control console will tell us. And he just runs over and starts beep booping. And so here's my question. When Alpha runs in to stop him, does Alpha trip? Or does Billy somehow shut him down temporarily?
I thought he just tripped because the control console's on a slightly elevated platform.
I'm just saying. I think he hit the remote shut off.
But Billy helps him up, and he's like, a fully sentient, multifunctional automaton. And that's their word. Don't use that word, Billy.
There are also so many lens flares on Alpha. I'm pretty sure this is what inspired J.J. Abrams to a career.
I particularly love Alpha's POV shot. This
Oh my
is
God.
the best video quality that 1992 CD-ROMs had to offer. And there's this weird little, because Alpha has, the slit that he
Yeah.
sees out of. So from his perspective, on, above and below the little visor slit, you see really shitty circuitry?
Circuitry, yeah.
So Zordon appears, and they ask him who and what is he? And he says, I'm an interdimensional being caught in a time warp. And that raises so many more questions than it answers, right?
Like, where's Frankenfurter?
I'm pretty sure this is what happens when you do the time warp again.
Yes, that's exactly where I went with it too. That's why Alpha needs to learn how to dance. It's all connected.
It's all coming together.
That's how you get Zordon out. That's how you set him free.
John and I are doing the Charlie Day conspiracy board. It's wonderful.
Yes, in real time. I can see it through our video chat.
They're doing the time warp, Mike. I hate the time warp.
Is it just me or does Zordon look like he got kicked out of Limp Bizkit? Just the way his face looks.
I really need Zordon to have a red hat right now.
Alpha, you know you be loving this shit right here. LIMP. Biscuit is right here.
You did it all for the noogie.
You keep morphin', morphin', morphin'.
Keep morphin', morphin'.
And then Kimberly's are like, what? Keep morphin', morphin', morphin'. Huh? Keep morphin', morphin'.
I think the parody video where Zordon is doing Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I think we gotta make that, guys. We gotta make that.
That's to be done.
Jesus.
So he says, like, look, I've called you to save the world, and Zyke's like, yeah, right. And he's like, a non-believer.
Jesus Christ.
What? What is that line?
A non-believer.
Oh, he gets so many great lines. I mean, a few seconds later, he gets, behold, the keys to your power. I just love when beholds.
Yeah,
Get dropped.
anyone who starts off phrases with behold.
Well,
It's amazing.
Well, he tells them to go look at the viewing globe, and we all know that globes are the best configuration for viewing video footage. So he starts, explaining the premise of the world, just in case, we need to get through this.
Yeah, it's the first episode, sure.
It's the first episode. We're gonna have a little exposition dump here, and he shows them footage of Rita riding something
Her flying penny farthing.
already.
Yes. And Goldar's flying behind her.
I did not realize her penny farthing
Yep.
was featured in this.
Oh.
Yeah, why does she ride a penny farthing? Fuck you. That's what they could afford.
Because that's what they have on Mars / the moon.
I mean, it's so much more awkward in the second episode, but yes.
What do you mean? What's awkward about penny farthings?
Flying penny farthing.
So Zordon explains that Rita Repulsa is an intergalactic sorceress who wants to destroy the Earth with her putty patrollers. This is a sentence I've said in this lifetime.
And as we'll find out, they have like 8 of them.
Yep.
Which is not going to destroy Earth. That's not going to conquer Luxembourg.
Well, you have to wait for the molds to cool down before you make more. See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rita's problem is that she just keeps sending them as soon as they're baked.
Yeah, you gotta let them cool first. Agreed.
Well, no, I'm saying just amass an army first.
Exactly.
And then they could drop down out of portals, not even using parachutes, and totally take over the world with their shitty martial arts. Wait, I feel like we've covered this before somehow.
Yes, I'm pretty sure there was
Mortal
a
Kombat,
combat of the
Annihilation.
mortal variety.
So Zordon tells them that they're going to be an elite fighting force called the Power Rangers. And this is when their morphing thing, what the fuck do they call them?
Morphers, the power morphers.
Yeah, the Power Morphers appear on their crotches, and don't make things appear on teenagers' crotches. Even if they are Power Morphers, just maybe put it in their hands.
Did they come with new belts? Do they clip onto your pants? What the fuck? How do these things work?
I don't know. And so he says, yeah, they draw on the power of dinosaurs. You know, those things that have been dead for millions of years and have been mostly replaced by rock as they turned into fossils / became crude oil. Well, not dinosaurs, but like prehistoric life that preceded dinosaurs.
Also, 2 of your dinosaurs are mammals. 3/5 of you will channel the power of dinosaurs, who are also robots for some reason.
Look, this was the Power Rangers 3/5 compromise, okay?
Wow.
I also love the description he gives because for each of them, like they're given for their particular character traits. But my favorite is Kimberly because apparently she's wise.
Yeah, how?
I mean, Zordon should have said, Kimberly, you are ditzy and dumb. You will command the Stegosaurus. That is what should have transpired here.
Well, pterodactyl because she's flighty. See? Come on, Zordon. Get it together.
And so you will pilot fighting machines called Zords. And Zach says this a lot in the series. Like, I don't get it. And instead of being like, what the hell's a Zord? Or what do you mean by that? He's just like, I don't get it.
I
Yeah.
agree, Zach. I agree.
So yeah, he tells them, about the Megazords and whatever, and that's it. Like, there's no training, there's nothing. It's just like you're gonna somehow instinctually know how to fucking pilot these giant robot dinosaur slash mammals.
Which work together as you work together. What? How the fuck do we ever know that they've worked together? These people know each other. That's all we know.
Yeah, we don't even know if they're friends.
I mean, they're supportive of Billy sucking at martial arts.
Yeah, and I mean, we know that Jason and Zach are dance partners. So, but other than that,
True.
we have very little knowledge of these people.
But also, Zordon is the kind of person who abducts 5 teenagers and gives them all handcrafted belt.
Yeah, and also, how the fuck does he know anything about these kids?
Seriously, Alpha just summoned them with the press of a button.
Because he's psychic. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, let's see if I can work this out. While they were speed flying over the purple landscape, as their atoms were being rearranged, here in the teleportation room, the computers uploaded the information from them. It took all the info from their bodies and their minds and everything.
Sure, why not? So Zach is like, look, this is fucking stupid. I'm out of here. And most of them are very much in agreement, like, this is fucking stupid. We're out of here. But Jason, he kind of lingers a bit. He's very intrigued at the thought of getting to lead the Power Rangers.
And I guess these 5 are chosen ones because it's not like, well, let's take the Power Morphers back and get us a few new specimens here, Alpha.
Yeah, they just let them leave with the Power Morphers.
Right?
And once they get outside, they're like, oh, fuck, we should ask them for a ride, right? This is going to be like a long walk back. But we're already outside the building. We can't go back in.
Seriously.
That'd be awkward. I
Yeah,
guess we'll just
yeah.
keep walking.
Through this wasteland.
Yeah, through the fucking desert.
These mid-20-year-old teenagers.
Yeah.
Actually, the dude who was Jason was 19 when this started. So
Yeah, he was, like, the
technically
only-
counts. He's the youngest out of all of them.
But he looks the oldest.
I know.
Back on the moon, Rita has somehow watched all of this going on. So Finster put some turds in a mold to make some putty controllers.
He really does. He really does.
God, and so remember this sequence, guys, because you're gonna see this putting shit in the Monster-matic, the thing that turns the clay sculptures into real things. Because you're gonna see it a lot in this series. They just definitely recycle this footage.
Yeah, this show is king of reused footage.
Goes through that wrapped air duct, makes a clattering noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and just the factory whistles repeating themselves. So as the teens walk through the desert, they debate in terrible ADR about whether or not they should have left. Like, wow, this ADR is bad. Like Zach, you hear Zach keep talking, but his mouth stops working, stops moving. Bad.
And by bad, you mean amazing and completes my life.
It's true. I do feel very complete.
It is a wonder to behold.
So Rita spots them and then sends down a fireball from the moon, which hits them and kills them instantly. And then the show ends. I did not. I remember there being more episodes.
It was ambitious to end the show on the pilot. Bold choice.
Yeah, very bold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it when producers are brave like that. Just kidding. She fires one fireball thing, and then the perspective here was really weird. Because it made me think that Rita shot from her wand into the inside of her castle. But no, she misses, and so now it's time for them to fight some putties. And yeah, you guys were making the noises earlier. My note here is need putty patrollers, why not Zoidberg?
That's so true. The power of
yeah, Zoidberg from Futurama. Space sea creature gibberish. So fighting, in quotation marks, ensues. And Zach gets some early 90s hip hop beats during his like initial fighting sequence because black guy. Kimberly gets snatched by two putties because girl.
And then they all fall gently into each other.
Yeah, they all fall gently into a pile, but Billy, before he joins the pile, like he takes his glasses off and puts them in the front of his overalls because he thinks that's gonna help him fight / protect his glasses.
Well, yeah, you gotta protect your glasses, man.
Having corrected vision in a fight is just cheating, honestly.
I mean, as we know from every Spielberg movie, you can't see anything without your glasses, so he inevitably gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, he joins the pile of teenagers.
Are you implying that Billy's vision is based on movement? And yet he is somehow incapable of smelling the putties?
So Jason decides that now is the time to give the power morphers a try. And so despite the fact that Zordon very explicitly, when he was explaining how to use the power morphers, said to point them up
Point them
towards the
up.
sky,
They point it forwards.
yes, they pointed forward directly at camera.
So these teenagers suck at Power Rangering already.
They are on a hill or small mountain of some sort, so even straight out ahead of them, there is sky.
Sure, why the fuck not?
I mean, granted, it's the same pose they always do every single time, no matter where they are, but
Well, why recycle 8 shots when he can recycle 20?
Yeah, we will see this morphing montage in every fucking episode.
But honestly, I kind of forgive it because the song kicks in again.
Oh, the song.
Just hear the guitars start riffing as well. I'm just picturing Slash on top of one of the mountains just rocking out.
Hell yeah.
I forgive it because of the amazing color-coded lightning surrounding them.
That conveniently obscures their clothing so they look the same and you're not like, oh shit, they're in a different outfit. So yeah, they become the Power Rangers. And Alpha detects that they've metamorphosized or metamorphosed, whatever the fuck the word is. So instead of having them fight the putties that they were fighting in the desert, decides to transport them to Tokyo. Sorry, I mean Angel Grove.
I love how the setting just keeps shifting throughout this episode. It's amazing.
Yeah, into definitely not Tokyo. Don't think about it. To fight Goldar. Yeah, the song just continues to play. And fuck, it's a banger. It's like everything I'm watching on screen sucks ass, but it's still good because this song is amazing. So yeah, they fight the putties and kick their asses. The putties, like they're just guys in gray jumpsuits with like gray masks on that are kind of look weird.
And these weird gloves.
And this is how Earth is going to be conquered.
Damn right.
Yeah, from the moon, Rita's watching this and she's really pissed that her shitty easy bake goons are shitty. Squat, the big blue dude, suggests that she make Goldar big with her wand. And by the way, her wand is like this big fucking staff with a giant circular thing on top of it. That's more than a wand.
And she throws her wand into the earth. Now, this happens quite a lot.
It happens every fucking episode.
Exactly. So here's the question. Does she have to fly her penny farthing to Earth every time to retrieve it, or does she have just a pile of wands back at her Doom Fortress?
Mjolnir effect. She just holds her hand out and waits for it to fly back to her.
Ah, of course.
That makes sense.
But we never see that.
Oh, well, no, that would take budget.
They could just reverse the shot of her throwing it to Earth.
They don't have reverse shot budget in this
No,
at
they
all.
really- they use that up on Kimberly's gymnastics.
Yes.
There are a few times where like someone will jump off of something and then they clearly reverse it and they somehow jump backwards like up onto a cliff face or something like that. It's really weird.
Yeah, so Goldar becomes Goldarzilla. And God, the way they grow every single monster, it's just they shoot them from a low angle with a wide angle lens.
And they blow some steam.
They blow some steam up at them, and just whoever's in the costume just stands up and pretends to get big.
They vape in its general direction. That's very
Yep.
important.
And somehow the Power Rangers just instinctually know how to summon their Zords.
They try to address this later with it just seems like we know what we're doing, which doesn't make sense, but that's the line they try to use to explain it.
Yeah, they're just like, oh my god, this is just like second nature. I'm just like driving my Zord.
And the Zords come from all over the world?
They come from different biomes. It's fucking crazy.
What is the carbon footprint of these Zords, is my question.
That's a great question. Is Megazord environmentally unfriendly? How much did Megazord contribute to climate change? That's what we need to know.
Does Megazord have different levels of emissions based on what size of hands it has at any given moment?
Yeah, those are variable. It has variable head sizes.
Whether or not it wants to punch something or grab something, it has two different hands.
But yeah, we also get such beautiful lines that stand the test of time. The good guys are here.
As they all get into their Zords, they all have to like say a line, which is just so lame, including my favorite from Kimberly, like, hey, nice stereo.
Nice. She's clearly wise.
Yes, very wise. Very wise.
Yeah, it takes wisdom to identify a stereo. We all know this.
Oh, that's a great line. I also love the fact that we are no longer in Tokyo.
Where are we now? We're just looking at random.
We're just in the random outdoors. It's not the desert mountains where we were fighting the putties earlier. We're not in the middle of the city. It's kind of a forest, but not really.
It's whatever they could get from the Godzilla people. Because, yeah, it's just dudes in costumes pretending to be way bigger than they are. Because this is what Japan does.
And does so gloriously, sir.
So good. Agreed. With too glorious effect. God, Jason starts yelling when he's in Power Ranger mode. Like, he's pretty soft-spoken when he's in human mode. He's like, come on, guys, we gotta fight the monster, yeah! Like, massive tonal shift with Jason.
They all are a lot louder and more excited. I think maybe they're trying to match the Japanese actors' movements because you can't see our faces, so we have to overemphasize all of our gestures sort of acting.
And yeah, we are treated to this incredible robot versus monster fight. Seriously, worthy of Pacific Rim. You've got to watch it.
So many sparks. So many sparks.
And for some reason, so like the first mode when they connect is like a heavy tank mode that rolls along the ground. Apparently, this doesn't do fuck all. So they got to transform into a guy without a weapon mode.
Yes. And I hope you like this footage because you're going to see it every fucking episode.
Yes, you fucking are.
If you didn't love it the first time, you will learn to love it.
Along with the morphing sequence and Rita's wand traveling to Earth.
Yeah.
A solid third of these episodes are exactly the same footage.
And John is barely exaggerating. Holy fuck. So after getting their ass kicked for a bit, Jason summons a giant sword that he somehow knew existed.
Knows, yes.
Yeah. Also, where is this sword stored that it just comes out of the sky?
Venus.
Sure, fuck it.
It's on the outside of the firmament and the little window opens so the sword can fall through.
No explanation is too ridiculous for this shit. So Goldar chickens out. He just kind of teleports back to the moon.
You might say he'll chunky chicken out.
Yeah. We will get to the chunky.
Foreshadowing.
Is this enlargement spell like time based? And that's why he had to piece out of there? Because he's his regular size when he gets back to Moon Palace.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that works, but I think he just saw Megazord and he's like, nope, not fucking with that.
Saw that big ass sword. I mean, there's no way that me with my sword could ever do anything up against that.
Nope.
Shit, they made the fight fair. I gotta get out of here.
Damn, these teenagers have attitude.
Yeah, when they're shooting at me with guns, like, that's whatever, but now he's got a sword. That's some serious shit.
It's a space sword. I mean, damn.
It's true. I mean, it's the thing. It's still space swords and giant robots fighting monsters. It can be the worst production in the world, but that concept still entices you in. It's irritating.
Well, Rita's pissed off that Goldar chickened out, so she's got to go lie down because she has a headache. Rita having a headache because of her goons is going to be a recurring theme in this series.
Oh my god.
Not tonight, honey. I have a headache. Shut up.
So back at the command center, Zordown lays down the rules of being a Power Ranger. Probably
Oh, I love these rules.
probably should have like mentioned them before
Yeah,
they left.
Now that they've had an adventure, didn't give him the rules before he sent 5 teenagers with attitude out, just for a walk with this newfound power that they said they don't believe in.
And the rules are never use your power for personal gain, like protecting the planet. You very much benefit personally from that. Never escalate the battle unless Rita forces you to. So that's a rule where there's a caveat within the rule. And the third is keep your identity secret, except to each other. These are bad rules.
They're terrible rules.
And you're telling them to teenagers who, of course, are immediately going to try to break them.
I'm sorry, what kind of teenagers do you know, sir?
The kind with attitude.
So
I don't know.
despite absolutely kicking ass just now, Zach still doesn't think they're up for this. They just got lucky. But Zordon says they got the right stuff, so they're in. Except for Kimberly. She's like, look, the suits are cool, but, the helmet really messes with my hair. I'm not in. They're like, oh, no, Kimberly. And then she makes the most 90s fucking joke. Not.
Jesus
Has
Christ.
not aged well. But also, Zordon calls them as fine a group of superheroes there has ever been. And I just can't with that statement. I mean, it's the cockiest of poppies, the most walloped of cods. It just absolutely.
Most walloped of cod. To quote Ian Malcolm, that is one big pile of shit. And then Alpha gets a circuit overload because humor is hard to handle for a robot.
No, he just has aggressive anxiety. He's the most identifiable character in that way.
And then hands in, everybody, Power Rangers.
Oh god, they freeze frame at the end. They freeze frame at the
You
end.
gotta have a freeze frame ending.
Oh
You
my
gotta.
god.
Ah.
And it's kind of poetic because these actors all got frozen out of what they deserve in terms of salary.
Residual compensation? Yes,
Yeah.
they absolutely did. Well, anyways, my head hurts. So I'm going to go lie down and take an aspirin. And then when we come back, we're going to break down our next episode, Big Sisters. Oh my god, what the hell is that thing?
Hey, it's a putty
Why is it called a putty?
made out of clay.
Which part?
Well, the head. I think maybe just the face. I don't know.
Okay, look, Jules, John, I don't think that's a good name for whatever the hell it is. It just represents a small part of its body. I mean, do we call people nosies? Do we call rhinos hornies? Do we call Arnold Schwarzenegger Botoxy?
Hey, we are coming up with a name for you, so stay out of this for now, all right?
Let's see. They're all gray. Is that a thing?
Gray guys? Gray dudes? Does that work?
Nah, it doesn't really work. We don't know the sex.
Tell me about it.
Well, they have blousing spandex. We could call them spandex blouses.
Oh my God, Jules, it's like you're not even trying.
Ah, god damn it, it's me, Arnold Schwarzenegger again. I was choking on another chicken bone, and you fucks didn't help me again. You're such fucking assholes.
Oh, what are the odds? Look at this, guys.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Schwarzenegger, good to see you again. Hey, why are you wearing that face? This is my normal face now. The Botox hasn't been kind to me.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to the hospital now. And by the way, this just reminded me that you three are the fucking worst.
Still a big fan. Can't wait to see you again.
Love the spandex.
Fuck you. I hope you're killed by a chunky chicken.
Chunky Chicken almost got the best of him, that's for sure.
And we're back. We're going to open up on the community center.
Because where else would teenagers hang out?
Well, since we're trying to keep the locations minimal, always at the community center. So Zach and Jason are sparring, and Jason at some point asks Zach if he's ready right before he takes a swing at him. Like, are you ready for this punch? That's how the best sparring goes, when you telegraph exactly what you're going to do so your opponent knows how they need to react.
It's time to attack.
So Kimberly and Trini are looking for someone called Maria. Little girl, they're being the big sisters too, like a big sister, little sister kind of program.
Yeah, my note is they're already abandoning kids.
I think in this case, the
This
kids
is more
abandoned
the kid
them.
ran off, yeah.
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 I don't want to think about our metaphorical implications here. So we see a hand turning off a way too accessible hot water valve.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. This episode is almost a fever dream. It's starting right out the gate. Oh my God.
I had multiple seizures just watching this episode. It's ridiculous. I'm going to be saying some sentences I never expected to say in my lifetime. So a bunch of dudes come running out in their towels.
Yeah, because the locker room and the showers of the community center empty right into the restaurant/workout facility?
Well, you know what I do whenever someone screws with the water and I'm in the shower is run stark naked through a populated area.
You know what I do while I'm in the shower? Is I mistake shaving cream for shampoo.
As one does. We've all been there.
The menthol gives you that tingling burn that lets you know it's working. Also, who knows? There might be dinosaur embryos in that can. Just saying.
You always got to check.
You always got to check your shaving cream for dinosaur embryos. Yes. Who knows? It could even be a mastodon.
Find me at every drugstore just going through. It's in one of them. I know it.
Just trying to unscrew cans of shaving.
Sir, I'm going to need you to step back from the Barbasol. And that's when we see that the hand belongs to a 12-year-old cross-dressing Toby Maguire. Sorry, I mean Maria. Maria. Her name is Maria. It's the kid that Kimberly and Trinity were looking for.
The story is not for the faint of heart.
This is true. This is true. This girl had to solely have been cast due to the fact that they thought they could swap her out with the Japanese footage.
Oh, easily. I don't think they dub her actual voiceover.
They do dub her because I was going through the credits, of course, trying to find Baywatch connections, which there aren't somehow. I don't know how that happened.
Let's not pretend this show rises to the level of Baywatch.
It's too high a standard.
You can. Exactly, Jules. You can. But there is no credit whatsoever for this girl.
Really?
And so I went to the Power Rangers wiki to look up Maria, and it lists that it is an unknown actress who was dubbed over by the lady who would go on to predominantly dub Scorpina, recurring
That
villain
makes
Scorpina.
sense. I was listening to her, I'm like, this is not a child's voice.
No, they absolutely dubbed this child.
Well, I'm glad you found that out because I was like, that's definitely an adult pretending to be a kid.
Yes, it is.
So on the moon, Rita is talking to herself about how she wants to get those rascally Power Rangers, and then she's like, I have an idea. Cut.
I'm so sick of those do-gooders. I gotta find a way to get rid of them. And my note to that was how
After
I feel
these
about
important messages.
how I feel about boy bands. But yeah.
But yeah, Nick mentioned, but very important Niblet sort of moment there with
Oh my god.
Maria. Oh my god.
All right, so we're back at the community center really quick after that brief sojourn to space. And Kimberly and Trinity find Maria at the juice bar having the most whipped creamed of juices.
Oh, this is the beginning of the diabetes.
What the
You know,
fuck, Ernie?
Sterling's-
Seriously.
Also, there's like cocktail umbrellas in it and like a pineapple.
I think Ernie's been day drinking, man. That's what's going on.
Ernie does like pina coladas.
And because Kimberly's so wise, she says, I'll be your friend no matter what you do. That's what friends are all about. Now, this is not her only tidbit of wisdom, but I'm going to say right now that if you guys commit cannibalistic cold-blooded murder, I'm not going to be your friend.
Well, then you're not a true friend.
If you intentionally set my house on fire, I am not going to be your friend. If you watch the TV series Entourage for pleasure, I am not going to be your friend.
I hate to break it to you, Jules, but we did overlap as friends at a point in time when I did enjoy Entourage for pleasure. You just didn't know about it.
I have literally never seen that show.
It does not age well. Honestly, we should do it just because it is actually fucking terrible as a show.
I do enjoy just the Kimberly. That's what friends are all about. It's just
So
Yeah.
wise. So wise. Kimberly's like a miniature Buddha.
covered in hair.
Covered in fur, yes.
The thing is, like, the performances in the show they're awful. But I don't
Yes.
want to shit on the actors because they have less than nothing to work with.
This is true. This is true.
I don't feel like this is this show is in any way a fair representation of anybody's acting abilities, except clearly this little girl's that was so terrible they had to dub her over with an adult.
Are you claiming line gems like the good guys are here is not something you can work with, Nick?
As much amazing of an actor as I am, I'm gonna go with no. By the way, all this like we'll be your friends is in response to them asking Maria why she turned off the hot water, and it's like, well, it was to get your guys' attention.
Maria just wants to watch the world burn.
Jesus, apparently. Well, at least the skin of the boys in the boys' room.
Well, no, she turned off the hot water.
Fine, freeze them. She wants to watch the boys freeze.
Sharp nipples.
That's what she's after.
Trini's response to this is like, hey, why don't we get a big old picnic basket filled with food and go have a picnic in the park? And you know what? 12-year-olds just love picnics. They just love them. I just remember being 12 and I couldn't get enough picnics.
Jesus Christ.
So cut to Rita with her goons. So apparently the plan is she just fucking remembered these things existed, but the plan is to steal the ancient power eggs, surround the Power Rangers with them in order to get them surrounded by an evil force that not even Zordon can stop.
I mean, that's always been my excuse whenever you find expired eggs in my fridge. You know, it's not rotten, it's just ancient power eggs.
To trap teenagers with attitude?
You'd be surprised how easy that is. So they find these eggs really easily in some fucking cave because Rita, Goldar, Squat, and Babu just teleport into the cave where they're kept.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
it's like,
they're
oh,
just
we're gonna
there.
go get just there.
And then Rita realizes, I forgot, only a child can open this box.
That's a hell of a thing to forget. And because the show needs to attempt humor, when they first arrived, Squat's like, ooh, all this talk about eggs is making me hungry.
Because he's the fat one.
Because he's the fat one, yeah. Because Squat, because he's, the fat one who wants the eggs, rushes up to the box where the eggs are contained, like this wooden chest, and gets zapped by something. And that's when Rita's like, oh, yeah, shit, I need a kid for this. What a terrible fucking security system.
Seriously.
Went to the Dumbledore School of Security.
Apparently, damn.
Seriously, what the fuck? Yeah. So they need like an innocent, pure of heart child. So they pick fucking Maria, who just wants to watch the world burn?
At some point, yes, they will pick Maria. So they're back at the moon base, and Rita tells Finster that she needs a monster that's good at kidnapping children. Remember this fact. Remember this little fact. The specifications of this monster. And she knows which monster she wants. She's apparently had this monster made for her before.
I need my child nabbing monster. The chunky chicken.
A chunky chicken. What the fuck? These are words that we're saying.
In the spirit of full transparency, this monster's name is the reason we picked this episode.
Yes, audience member, we were on our group chat, and John's like, this episode has a chunky chicken in it. We are doing this. And
Billy modifies a VW Beetle.
Yes.
yes,
That was
Jules
amazing.
and I were like sold. And little did we know that would be a horrible, horrible mistake.
And the monster, this chunky chicken, is basically a human-sized chicken with gardening shears.
Yes.
Yes.
That is...
That Finster just happens to have a clay model ready to go for the Monstermatic. It's just, oh, well, I happen to have a chunky chicken right here. Let me put him in the Monstermatic for a couple seconds.
And by the way, Finster's sculpting abilities, if he didn't have one ready, you could have one in about 4 minutes. He doesn't even have sculpting tools. You just kind of mush it around with your hands like, kind of looks like a bird. That'll work.
Look, I have the artistic talent of a dead cockroach, and even I could make a chunky chicken. Let's be honest here. Rita threatens to turn Finster into a sea slug. if he fails. Very specifically, a sea slug.
Things that she definitely knows about spending, 10 millennia inside of a space dumpster.
Unless she gets the National Geographic Channel on the moon. What? Or 90s Discovery Channel back when it had actual stuff to learn. So Rita loves her new chunky chicken, and she proclaims that the Power Rangers are goners, and looks into camera and sticks her tongue out.
That's what friendship is all about.
Yeah, while side hugging the chunky
Wow.
chicken.
These are things that were just said. Side hug your chunky chicken and stick your tongue out.
If you know what he means. So now we're at a park for the picnic that 12-year-olds are definitely into.
You can tell that Maria is absolutely into picnics because her skirt and the picnic blanket are exactly the same.
From the same material.
They're both that shitty kind of red check / plaid sort of thing that's at cheap Italian restaurant tablecloths.
Oh yeah, like Lady and the Tramp kind of tablecloth.
Yeah.
Maria is very appreciative that they're gonna be her friends. She tries to connect with her. Her dad tries to connect with her, but there's definitely some things he doesn't understand. Kimberly and Trini are friends, and she can always talk to them.
Well, she says, we'll listen. That's what friends are all about, as opposed to, walking away because your friend's talking shit.
Yeah, there are hard limits to how much you're obligated to listen to a friend.
Sorry, what was that?
So Kimberly then asks Maria who the raddest boy in school is.
Ooh, this fails the Bechdel test, doesn't it?
So hard.
They could talk about anything in the entire world, and it's boys.
But Maria responds, gross, they're all dorks. And as someone who was formerly a 12-year-old boy, yeah, Maria, you got it right there.
My note here is that, they're all dorks who will probably grow into intelligent and wealthy contributors to society. Then they'll make some questionable decisions and start a podcast together. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about.
Jules, you doing okay, man? You want to talk about something? And that's when the putty patrollers attack them.
And Maria just looks confused.
Well, as
She's
you would,
not
right?
scared or freaked out or anything. She's just like, huh?
This is the production value of this show?
They got those outfits from Spirit Halloween, didn't they?
And this is actually quite a fun fight sequence, because I'm not sure why, but there was something a little unsettling about watching a very white girl, whose name starts with a K, kick an alien in the stomach in the park and yell, "Go back to where you came from." I'm not saying that Karen and Kimberly are connected, but both their names do start with a K. If you put those two initials together, that's one K short of a clan. Coincidence?
I think not.
Let's also not forget that due to their entire gray nature, these are putties of color.
This is
It's true.
Very true.
Also, what the fuck are putties made of? Because every time in every episode
Clay
they get,
turds.
but whenever they get hit, the sound effect sounds like a sledgehammer hitting an anvil. Like it's a very hard metallic sound.
I heard of it more of like a sledgehammer hitting like a brick or something like that. But yeah.
It sounds very hard, and I was always worried that they were gonna break their hands or something hitting them.
I'm picturing a blacksmith in the background and a portable booth, and it's just like, why is it always near my stall where you guys have fights?
It's
Clang,
really a
clang.
coincidence that you're getting hit as I'm molding this medieval armor over here. Every time.
We just get a wit pan over.
But despite Kimberly's best slow motion somersault kicks, they kidnap Maria. And hey, guys, so you remember how Chunky Chicken was created for his child kidnapping abilities?
Yes, the thing that he is so good at, you can't even see him pull it off. He's that sneaky.
Either that or he just doesn't appear here. He just doesn't help out.
That's madness. Clearly, Chunky Chicken stole Maria, and it's not something that we're simply told about. This episode is the goddamn definition of tell, don't show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So much does not happen on screen in this episode.
Nope. Now that Rita has the kid, she sends Goldar and the others to go get the eggs. At the community center, again, because this show has 3 sets. Well, 2 if you count the ones they actually built for the American show, because the moon base is what they took from the Japanese show.
Well, yeah, they have moon base, community center, and outdoors.
Yeah, Zach has ordered the Ernie special just for himself, which is just this massive plate of ice cream and whipped cream and
It's
bananas.
a bowl of beetus.
It's a I was gonna say that was my
It's Ernie's Beetus Bowl.
Ernie's beetus bowl.
It really looks like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
It
in my
really
life.
is. And those bananas are coming out at a very uncomfortable angle, I must say.
These are not split bananas. These are just full-on peeled bananas.
But they're poking outward?
No, some guys have a curve, John.
Like
Stop
they're
being so
reaching
judgy.
for you.
That's where I put my bananas.
I'm sorry, are you moving at supersonic speeds?
This dish of ice cream, like, it is no joke, like 2.5 feet in diameter. Like, it is fucking
thing is
massive.
Fucking insane.
Jason very rightly is like, "Are you seriously eating one of those by yourself?" And Zach's like, "Yep." Nom 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 nom. But for Billy and Jason, they're gonna split one. Which even splitting one between 2 guys is insane. Like, I think the 3 of us would struggle to finish an Ernie special.
Oh my god, I'd slip into a sugar coma.
I'd be hurling in the bathroom.
A Vermonster is from Ben and Jerry's is small compared to this shit. Like,
I might pick out a few banana slices and that's it.
Juice Bar, famous for their giant plates of ice cream and bananas.
Right? What the fuck? What the fuck is this place, Ernie?
I love how they think that counts as juice.
Ice cream is just frozen cow juice.
Mmm. Cow juice.
From freshly squeezed cows.
Freshly squeezed. Oh my god.
So Kimberly and Trini come in and explain everything about what happened, but their communicators and teleporters aren't working. Oh no, so they can't reach Zordon.
Is it just me, or when Kimberly says, we were gonna go after them, but, and then she sort of trails off, did you guys get just the feeling that the end of that sentence was, we need boys to do things?
I did not get that sense at all. My sense was more of, we were going to go after him, but she's kind of a pain in the ass.
Like, she's a little much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Kimberly comes up with another fantastic and wise line, this is turning out to be more than a bad hair day.
Your hair's fine.
Yeah, her hair's fine. What the
Your hair's
fuck?
fine. Amy Jo Johnson, your hair's fine. By the way, I absolutely had like a little young child crush on Kimberly. I thought she was purty. Yeah, so the communicators and teleporters aren't working, but Billy's like, "Hey, I've been working on something in the garage that I think can get us to the command center." So off they go to Billy's house.
Here we go.
Cut to the rad bug.
Yes.
Oh my-
Go Red Bug.
Oh, my sweet baby Doctor Who tin can Jeebus. It is a Volkswagen Beetle with a subwoofer spray painted silver and mixing dishes also sprayed silver on the top and sides. It is absolute magic.
This would be like calling it the lit bug today. Like, this is hello, fellow kids to the nth fucking degree. Holy shit. A goddamn geriatric wrote this fucking episode.
And Billy says it does 0 to 3,000 in 2.8 seconds, and Zach says, I'm sold. And Zach, you are not sold. There is no
Yeah.
way.
No one questions this.
So clearly, Zach wants to die?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you die if you accelerate that fast. You just liquefy from the
Christ.
inside. You just, we know that we'll later learn that the rad bug has autopilot, so they just arrive at the fucking command center and they're all just goop.
That's what the subwoofer on the front is for. It's an inertial dampener.
Whoa, wait. Are the Power Rangers going for a midnight race?
You're goddamn right they are. We'll see what happens when they get stranded in the desert with coyotes just out of frame.
Face coyotes.
Oh,
Go
man.
listen to our G.I. Joe episode if you'd like to get any of that.
If they'd done TIE fighter sound effects for it flying through the air, it would have been so good.
Would have been perfect. So yeah, nobody questions the physics of the rad bug. They're all in. They all pile into the Volkswagen Beetle. By the way, designed in Nazi Germany. This is a Nazi design car. There's literally photos of Hitler looking at models of this thing. This thing fucking flies.
And goes invisible.
First, it phases out of existence.
This is the car that Ron Weasley stole.
Yeah, but Ron Weasley didn't even put a subwoofer on his car.
Ron Weasley wishes he had a car this amazing.
Yeah, this thing fucking flies because Power Rangers. Why not?
And the acting when the car lists just a little to the right.
Whoa!
Honestly, I think I could also blame the acting on the pay. Like, if you're only getting paid $60,000 a year for like 90 episodes a year, you're just like,
You're getting no authenticity.
no.
That comes with another zero.
Yes, at the very fucking least.
I love that Billy just apparently cuts the engine or something and it just drops in to the command center.
Yeah, like the chimney thing in the center of it. Bonkers.
So they fall hundreds, if not thousands of feet directly onto the floor of the command center and everyone's fine.
It was the subwoofer that saved them.
So bad. So bad.
Okay, so they plop right into the command center, and that's that. Kimberly and Trinity tell Zordon what happened, and of course he immediately knows that Rita's going after the power eggs.
I think he says, our old pal Rita is at it again. She kidnapped a 12-year-old girl. And my note was, that's what friendship is all about.
Indeed.
Kidnapping 12-year-old girls?
And the viewing globe will answer all of your questions.
Will it though?
No,
John?
it
Will it?
fucking doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't.
This viewing globe does backstory, not just, current time events.
It does. Okay. All right.
It is
I'm going to
super
try and
useful.
explain the backstory of these power eggs. And audience, I'm not high. I swear to God, I'm not high when I say these words. So, billions of years ago, ancient sorcerers called the Morphing Masters put a universal power into 2 power eggs. They then put them in a chest and threw the chest into the sea, believing that
Cast it out to sea.
believing their ancestors would protect the power eggs.
So they pulled a baby Moses with the power eggs. Okay.
Well,
got
no,
it.
the actual line is, so in the hopes that they'd look down and protect them. How does throwing something in the sea make it more visible?
I don't know, man.
How does throwing something into the sea make it wind up on a witch's pentagram altar in the middle of a cave?
Because fuck you, John. That's why.
Because reasons.
Yeah, and it explains the security mechanism, which, if you think about it, is a literal child lock. It is a lock that can be only unlocked by a child.
Stupid virgin.
So they need to go
Seriously.
get the eggs and return them to the sea. Because if
Damn.
Rita gets a hold of them, she'll become too powerful to stop. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, guys. I quit the rest of this episode. I feel like I've done my fucking duty with that bullshit. So good luck.
You can't quit now. We're only halfway through it.
That's what friendship is all about.
I need to go throw myself into the fucking sea.
I just love the lines we somehow, by watching these kinds of things, these lines come out of Nick's mouth. It's the best thing in the entire world. It's like he's
And they
creating
break
it.
me.
It's
They
fantastic.
break me every time.
And that is what friendship is all about.
Mentally devastating your friends with terrible children's shows from the 90s. Speaking of the cave that the eggs eventually end up in, Chunky Chicken is there and he's actually doing something now. He apparently got Maria to open the egg box. She's not there anymore.
Yeah, this happened off camera.
Yeah, this happened, while you weren't looking.
I seriously had to keep rewinding and stuff. I thought I missed something. It's like, when did Maria open the chest? Nope, it's just open. But they came walking into the room.
Well, no, Chunky Chicken was there, and then Babu and Squat come walking into the room.
But Maria's nowhere to be seen.
No, she's not there. And we're not done with egg humor because, like, oh, those eggs look to make me hungry. And like, he tries to grab them, but he gets smacked by Babu because, we need to do more egg humor.
Squat and Ernie just need to hook up, man. That's all there is to it.
If we ever need pseudonyms for this podcast, Chunky Chicken, Babu, and Squat have to be the ones we choose.
So, despite needing Maria to open the crate that the eggs are in, Babu closes the fucking crate as soon as he picks it up.
Well, now it's outside of the protective circle, you see.
Okay, well, whatever. So why do they need to run I don't know, run away like that kind of running motion outside of the cave when they could just beam back up to the moon base and be done with it?
Reasons?
Running
Yes.
gives the illusion that the story is moving forward instead of just being ridiculous.
I like
Yes. And because they ran out of flying car budget, they now have the car driving the rad bug, and it's like,
But they
luckily
did not run out of flying penny feather.
they did not, as we will see just now.
That's because that takes no budget whatsoever. But there's some wonderful voiceover to explain why they're driving, because they'll be less visible with a ground approach.
No, they won't. It's a white bug. Like it'll blend in more
my
with the sky than the fucking
God.
ground.
Oh my god, this fucking
So-
show.
Oh. So yeah, they catch up to the goons. Luckily, this cave is within driving distance of the command center as well.
Yeah, for some reason, Rita, who's got plans of world domination, repeatedly attacks the same small California town where the only people capable of stopping her are.
Yeah, weird how that works out.
You could have just made a few monsters and send them to different places on the planet, divide and conquer.
Yeah, they only apparently take a few seconds to cook in the monster matic. I feel like you're half-assing this.
Finster's got shelves of this shit just there.
Anyways, they catch up to the goons, so it's morphin' time, motherfucker.
Keep morphing, morphing, morphing.
Oh, we're gonna write that song. Okay, so they do their morphing. Then they form a human pyramid, fire their laser guns at each other,
Yes.
so they cross the streams.
Yes, so their
I
powers
love this
combine.
so much.
Yes.
They point their guns at each other and blow each other's heads off. It's a really dark ending. I love it.
Oh, we could only be so lucky.
And the beams coming together creates some weird geometric shape thingy that expands outwards towards the monsters and explodes around them. Hang on, I need to go lie down. I got dizzy saying that fucking shit.
Also, Chunky Chicken's not with them. It's Goldar, Squat, and Babu now, somehow.
And also, the power of this geometric expanding thing explosion knocks the chest into the ocean, which is definitely nearby. Don't go rewind this episode and see where they actually are.
God damn, again, I had to watch this thing 5 fucking times. It made no sense.
And then Rita chases after them.
Yes,
Or was
while
that
they're
later?
fighting. No, it's now
Rita chases after them with a penny feather.
a penny
Flying
fucking
feather.
farthing. Oh my god, this hurts so much.
But she's skimming treetops with this thing. What the fuck is this? I love it.
So at the command center, Zordon and Alpha have discovered that Chunky Chicken, Rita, and Co. have Maria tied up at the old factory. You know, the one.
Quick question. What the fuck is Maria hanging from? The sky?
Gun to my head, John, I could not answer that question.
Rita and Co. are on the rusty fire escape outside of the building, and Chunky Chicken is flying with his giant set of clippers to cut a rope that now Asian Maria is hanging from.
Yeah, definitely don't look at this child who's suspended too closely.
But she's suspended from nothing.
From goddamn nothing. So apparently now the Power Rangers communicators are working. So guys, let's say you're in this situation, right? You're a Power Ranger and you got a child hostage situation. What is the best course of action?
To to get David Hasselhoff.
Shoot each other with our guns.
Sorry, guys, you are both incorrect. It is called giant robots into into action. You know what de-escalates a hostage situation? Giant fighting robots.
Yeah, because the rules.
I mean, I seriously think we have to get in touch with SWAT because there's a new negotiation tactic.
Yes. Gotta get Boston Dynamics on the case.
Bring in the tank.
Hey, as long as it has a super rad stereo system, I see no problem.
Call it the Rad Tank. And oh my god, so because we don't get the awesome theme song for this summoning of the Zords, we get to hear their shitty sounds that they make. Like the T-Rex sounds like a dying elephant. They all sound like various dying African animals, but yeah.
I like to think the sound effects department killed a bunch of African animals.
Why do you like to think these sort of
Actually,
things?
no,
That's
I don't
insane.
like. I am picturing
You said it. We have
against my
evidence.
will. And that's what friendship's all about.
So Chunky Chicken cuts the rope that's attached to something, we don't know. But they go straight into making Megazord, right? They don't by the
Right.
way,
Yeah.
yeah. So Megazord catches definitely not a little Japanese girl. Please don't look too closely.
Oh, but this cutting of the rope sequence is amazing.
Because they're cutting between like the Japanese footage and clearly the girl they got to play American Maria on a soundstage with just generic gray backdrop.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's so
And
bad.
it's one of those things where like the strands of the rope break one at a time. So
As
the rope
rope
gets
does.
thinner and thinner and thinner. Yeah. And it keeps cutting to Rita, who's doing like the little clippy scissor motions with her fingers. And she's giving like some serious side eye at the same time. She's like, yeah.
Kill that child.
And then Trini threatens from inside the cockpit of the Megazord? Like, don't you cut that rope one more time or some weird shit like that?
Yeah, apparently Rita can hear that. Just like, whatever, Power Rangers. Yeah, Megazord catches definitely not a Japanese girl. And then in retaliation, Rita makes just Chunky Chicken, not any of her other goons. Just Chunky Chicken. Makes him grow. Not Goldar, not Squat, not Babu, for superiority of numbers. Just Chunky Chicken.
Well, I mean, she can only use enlarge once per long rest.
Yeah, it's only when you get to level 14 can you recharge on a short rest. So apparently you can just remote call the rad bug.
Yeah, you don't even have to drive this fucking thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, so Megazord puts down Maria, who gets into the passenger seat, and Radbug drives away.
Jesus Christ, this Megazord hand, by the way. Oh my
Oh, it's
god.
fantastic. It's
Yeah, because we cut away
inflatable.
from obviously a dude in a suit to whatever giant paper mache hand they made for the exterior shot. This giant paper mache hand.
It looks like inflated rubber. That's the best way.
Looks weird. It's a whack hand.
It is so weird. Jesus.
And the hand just sort of lingers on the ground for a while, and then while the bug is driving away, then it cuts back to the robot ready for action, not even crouched down.
And the epic fight against Chunky Chicken takes off here. Oh my god.
So my note here is, so now we watch Megazord find a giant chicken with scissors and a red hat. This is a sentence I've said.
Again, I'm just loving the sentences you're forcing you to say.
God.
I love that Chunky Chicken's scissors are ineffectual as a weapon, but very great at cutting open rifts in space.
Right, yeah, it just cuts into space-time to teleport behind Megazord and get a sneak attack in. But he only uses it once, because if he used it more, that would just be, unfair. And so they call down the Power Sword to fight Chunky Chicken and just kind of waves it at him. I don't think they even hit Chunky Chicken, and that is enough to defeat Chunky Chicken.
Whenever they power it up, it never actually hits them.
Back at the moon base, Rita's chewing out her goons for sucking. Goldar
Yep.
tries to blame Finster for making a lame monster, even though Rita expressly ordered it. In a manner where she knew exactly what she was ordering. Like she has made Chunky Chickens in the past.
Right.
Squat and Babu have nothing to say for themselves, and Rita yells at them to get her an aspirin because she's got a headache.
Again? Damn.
Yeah, I know how you feel, Rita. I've been watching the show too. So at the community center, Ernie and the youths are watching a
Yes.
news report about the Power Rangers.
Yes.
The new band, Ernie and the Youths.
Oh
Ernie and
my
the Youths.
god.
So apparently the existence of the Power Rangers is known to the world, as is Rita Repulsa's existence.
Evidently so, sure.
Yeah, the military never gets involved with any of this shit because that would be expensive to put on film. So they're interviewing Maria in this newscast, and apparently she's the most popular kid in school because she got kidnapped by a chunky chicken.
Just like real life.
Yay.
Hey guys, so you know how Bulk and Skull have been a part of this story, at all?
Integral. Yes.
Yeah, me neither. So apparently,
You wouldn't stop talking about it.
so again, because the business model of this alleged juice bar is
Fucking insane.
insane. Ernie has made a giant bowl of veggie chili just cuz.
Yep, it's his famous special chili, and it just got finished. And so you know what that means? Everybody gets it for free.
Yeah, it's on the house. So instead of doing the logical thing, putting the bowl of chili on the juice bar counter and having everybody line up and get their chili in a orderly fashion, Kimberly decides she's just gonna raise the bowl of chili above her head and walk through this crowd of teenagers who really want some fucking chili. It slips out of her hands and crashes into Bulk, who is talking to a girl who is way the fuck too hot for him. Like, she is an 8 or 9 and he is a -7, and he's like got her attention,
It's all about confidence.
which he has in spades.
He
Despite
does have
being,
confidence in spades, yeah.
yeah, he is a sentient Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah, he's got confidence, but no competence.
There you go.
He does have a very properly portioned ice cream sundae, though.
Right, not the fucking Ernie special. He gets a regular person ice cream sundae.
And for some reason, Skull just has a salt shaker? Like, was he gonna salt the sundae?
He's just standing against a wall by himself. By the way, it
Yeah,
feels like they
he's
cut
not
this in
sitting at
later.
the table with Bulk and this girl. No,
Yeah, he's
no,
just
no,
holding
no.
a salt shaker just so that I guess you associate him with the cafeteria. Who the fuck knows?
PhD level intellect right there. Who knows why he does the things he does?
At some point, and I'm not going to tell you when, I am just going to randomly show up leaning with a salt shaker somewhere, and you guys are going to have to figure out why.
I think we're gonna figure it out very fast, but thanks for the heads up.
It'll be right after my chili shower.
Kimberly says, "Sorry, Bulk, that chili was supposed to be on the house, not on you."
And then everyone laughed. Except, no, really, everyone did.
Yeah.
Super awkward.
I rarely speak out loud when I watch TV shows these days, but I yelled "shut up" at the screen right there.
And Bulk doused in chili as our freeze frame ending?
Why the fuck not?
What the fuck? Like, they just didn't mock the bullies this episode? They're like, shit, we just gotta get this in.
They didn't even do anything this episode. Like, it was just
Exactly.
cruel for the sake of being cruel.
For fucking runtime.
Ugh, this show needed a Guido.
Like, are they contractually obligated to be in every single episode and they were just forgotten about? By the way, I absolutely highly agree with you, Jules. Guido makes everything better. Kick Ernie's ass out, but get Guido running the juice bar, man. That place is going to be efficient as fuck.
Just promise that you'll make him a lifeguard and he will run the fuck out of that place. Go watch our Baywatch episodes if you'd like to get these jokes.
He'll be stimulating the youth's erogenous zones all the way from the shoulder to the elbow. It's okay. The youths are at least 30.
They are. Yeah, these are youths if your basis of comparison is Methuselah. So that was Power Rangers. But before we go, as millennials, we know that every movie and TV show has a moral, even this fucking thing. So Jules, what did you learn today, if anything?
That I can get diabetes from watching a TV show from the 90s.
Yeah, my blood sugar spiked in that scene as well. And John, how about you?
I learned that saber-toothed cats and mastodons are dinosaurs.
It's one of the lesser known facts in paleontology, for sure. And I learned how to kidnap teens, make them play dress up, and do my bidding.
Wow.
Nick.
Don't worry, I'm only going to use my powers for good. I promise. And before we go, we do, of course, need to tell you what we're doing next time. So, John, what do the folks at home have to look forward to?
We're getting into the holiday spirit, which means Nick's not going to let me pick after the shit I put him through last year.
Fuck, no, I'm not.
So glad I missed that one.
So we're going with his original choice of Tim Allen's The Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. And you got a festive review to get everybody in the spirit of the season?
I have a middling review for a middling movie.
Suck it to us.
Watch for the Mrs. Doubtfire syndrome. In Santa Drag and Padded for Laughs, Scott demonstrates how to be a more sensitive, more funny parent than boring old mom.
Oh,
That is a sad, strange little review, and it has my pity.
Hey! Well played, sir.
And that's our show. If you'd like to, please subscribe. If you'd love to, please share it with all your friends. And whether you liked it or loved it, we'd appreciate if you give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you can to help others find us. Also, be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Links to all of that are in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Millennial Rewind.